From adventure below the sea, we go 40,000 feet in the air this evening for our date with danger. David Jansen stars as an airline captain in a tense mid-air drama. Mayday 40,000 feet this evening at 6:40. Now, before Grandstand, the weather prospects come from Bill Giles.
Thanks very much. Well, I'm afraid it's not going to be the best of summer weekends this weekend. There will be rain and sunshine for many of us. I think on the eastern side, more sunshine than rain, but on the western side, more cloud and rain than you'll get sunshine. It's going to feel a bit fresh today too in these northwesterly winds, but the strongest winds that we had yesterday have now pushed away into the North Sea. Now, we've got cloud and rain associated with these fronts and this low pressure area that's already into western parts, and that's going to dive southeast, I think, as we go through the day. And then out in the Atlantic, they're stringing further out. A little bit of respite in here, but that's going to come into night, I'm afraid. And then there is another low pressure area forming out in the Atlantic now, and that's going to come in during Sunday, bringing cloud and rain in, but it'll be 6 hours later than this one today. So I think the eastern side on Sunday not having too bad a day. Let's have a look at the satellite picture first of all. Now, this is an infrared satellite. This means it shows up the thick rain-bearing clouds best of all. There's one gone off into the continent, then a drier slot, and then another lot just coming into the northwest now, and that's going to dip down fairly quickly. And then there's the drier period that's mainly going to come in tonight, I'm afraid. And then the next low pressure area you can see forming out in the Atlantic, ready to come in later on Sunday. Let's put a bit of detail on today's weather for you first of all. Well, quite a bright start to the day in most parts of the country, but the sun's already gone in the west. There's some rain about, and as we go through the afternoon, so you'll find some rain working its way in across into Wales, down into southwestern parts of England too, getting down into the Channel Islands. Probably not a great deal of rain, but nonetheless making it a pretty miserable sort of afternoon. Over central and eastern parts, still quite bright and sunny in many places at the moment, but again, as we go through the afternoon, and so you'll find it gradually becoming cloudier, I think it'll stay dry in those places right the way through the afternoon, but some rain coming along through the evening. Again, probably not a great deal, but if you want to barbecue outside, just making it a bit on the miserable side. The best of the sunshine today, probably in northeastern parts of England, central and eastern parts of Scotland too. You'll get some sunshine, but I'm afraid some showers tucking in as well. And then this clearer weather spreading right across the country tonight, so that most places tomorrow starting off dry, bright and sunny, and on the eastern side of England a good deal of sunshine right the way through Sunday, and consequently a little bit warmer. 21 centigrade is 70 Fahrenheit. But you will find cloud and rain working its way into many western parts through the afternoon. Well, that's it from me. Bye-bye.
There's a double bill from BBC2 Saturday Cinema this afternoon, beginning at 10 to 4 with Rudolph Valentino in his last and his best film, The Son of Sheikh, giving a brilliant display of daring feats and torrid love scenes. And then at 5 to 5, Rimsky-Korsakov's most famous work provides the basis for Song of Scheherazade, starring Yvonne De Carlo. This is BBC1, now it's 12:30, and time for Grandstand.
Today in Grandstand, some exciting head-to-head confrontations. Moscow gold medalist Seb Coe meets Peter Elliott as they bid for Olympic 1500 metres selection. With Zola Budd recognised as #1, Wendy Sly and Jane Furness battle over 3,000 metres. Los Angeles is their goal too. In tennis, Kathy Jordan's beaten the #2. Can she beat the #1 as she takes on Navratilova at Eastbourne? In bowls, it's the Englishman, the Irishman and the Welsh classic. Tony Alcock against David Corkill. It's now a young man's game. It's been frightfully good fun at Royal Ascot this week, but Willie Carson and Steve Cawthon got down to business and were 1 and 2 in the riding honours. They're both in action at Ascot today. See who comes out top as we bring you 3 races from there. Okay, well, it's straight to the action, and this is the time of the year, they tell me, when a young man's thoughts can turn to bowls. Take Tony Alcock, for example, of England, and David Corkill of Ireland, both mere slips of lads. They're the finalists we're about to see in the Daihatsu Challenge, which is the Welsh Bowls Classic down at Cardiff. Well, the winner has £1,000 first prize to look forward to, and the first to 21 shots will take it. As we join the match, Alcock of England leads 10-9. The commentators are Gareth Humphreys and David Rhys-Jones.
Corkill then bowling the first bowl on the 11th end. Good length.
Alcock inquiring the position of Corkill's first bowl. 1 foot behind the jack. Very good attempt, just outside the bowl of Corkill.
I feel that this man, Corkill, has a slight advantage on these 3/4 length jacks because his bowls seem to bend a little more than Alcock's. They're a little bit more heavily biased, and Alcock's bowls seem to catch the runs and run a bit straight.
Yes, Tony Alcock plays with traditionally a straighter lined bowl. Made the shot by wicking off Corkill's second bowl.
I think in Tony Alcock's defence we should say that although he had an element of luck there, his bowl was very well weighted and it wasn't far off a line. Got just a slight assistance to find its way onto the jack, and there it goes out. It didn't stay there very long. Corkill bowling an excellent pressing bowl, pushing Alcock's bowl out of the head. Now it's Corkill who lies too.
Alcock appearing to play a similar shot into the white. An excellent bowl, 2 shots to Tony Alcock after 6 bowls played in this end.
Well, both players seem to have settled down now and are finding line and length far more consistently. They're putting it together now, and what an interesting head this has proved to be. Corkill drawing the shot. Tony Alcock getting it back. Corkill removing the Alcock bowl for 2 shots, and now Alcock trailing it for 2.
Corkill
4 times it's changed during the course of this end.
Corkill has very similar play here with his last bowl. Attempt to run into Alcock's. No, indeed, he's driving on his forehand. He's very near to the target. He's played an excellent bowl, picks the jack up. The toucher finishes 18 inches from the ditch, and the jack 2 yards from the ditch. Corkill lying 1, possibly 2, but Tony Alcock with his last bowl has 2.5 yards to draw the shot. This should be no problem for him.
As you say, Gareth, it should be a formality for Tony Alcock to get within 2 yards to score 1.
He's struggling to make the distance. Looks as if he's failed to get up sufficiently near.
Well, that's remarkable. It really is.
He feels he requires a measure. He's not prepared to concede the shot. Jim Morgan coming to measure this long tape requirement with Alan Williams, the president of the British Isles Bowling Council. Do you feel there, David, that Tony felt that the shot was so easy that perhaps he relaxed his concentration a little?
It could well have been that, Gareth. It was so open that we were all putting 1 shot on the card for Tony Alcock even before he'd played it. I think perhaps he may have fallen into the same trap.
He was, of course, going out into new ground on the outer edges of the rink, which usually requires a slightly heavier delivery. Indeed, the umpires have decided it's 1 shot to David Corkill. We are in a very exciting position now with the score 10 shots all.
Six ends in a row then to David Corkill.